And as always, glad to know you're there. Happy New Year. The program is Agriculture in Focus, where advancing food security and agribusiness remains our mainstay. My name is Alpha Jackden. On today's episode of the program, we will be looking at expectations of Nigerians as far as the current year is concerned vis-a-vis agriculture. But as always, we'll take a vox pop, and this vox pop will, as always, accord Nigerians the opportunity to air their views on what they want government and other stakeholders to do for them as far as the current farming season is concerned. It will, as always, be followed by our interview. After our interview, as always, I'll hand you over to the good hands of Abigail Stowe. That will be followed shortly by Common Sense Agriculture. The show, as always, will come to a close with trending fields. All you need to do is stay tuned, because I assure you that the next 25 minutes will be worth your while.
When I need government to help us manual in 2 costs for market, and then I need a loan from government to make sure say we do farming. From here we go Kuje, we go Suleja, we go many places to make sure say we do farming, because farming it dey help me. I dey help my friend carry vegetable, give them, carry many things, give them, help them, and then son I will carry and go market. All this one I help. I need government to put hand to give us loan.
Abin da nake bukatan gwamnati ta tallafa mana da shi, ta rage mana farashin kayan da suka hawa, kayan noma haka, su taki. Da muna sayan taki 15,000, amma yanzu taki ya kai 30,000, 30 da samti. To ga mai ma yanzu bara muna sayan tan lita 2,000, amma bana sai ka zara 8,000, 7,500 ka je ka samu man da zaka zo ka sama janareto.
It's always a delight knowing you're there to look at prospects into the year and what farmers are expecting and how government intends to meet these expectations will form the central focus of our interview in the course of this segment. I have with me Engineer Abubakar Abdullahi, who is a director with the Federal Department of Agriculture in Nigeria. He will be doing justice to this topic. All you need to do is sit back, relax, because I assure you that a lot will come your way. Engineer, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
You're welcome.
Yes, sir. As it were, I want to give you a little story. I met a friend of mine who is an astute farmer. And what he told me is that looking at the relationship between government, the farmer, and in fact the value chain, as it were, that the farmer remains the most faithful of all. When you hear that, what comes to mind?
Well, I agree with him to some extent, but the reality is that a lot of those we tag as farmers are not really farmers. We have the experience of getting farm input to farmers, but when you go down to measure the outcome, it doesn't correlate at all. That is to say, some people will collect this input without really using it. So as it is, the government is strategizing very well to see that inputs are given to those who actually own farms.
There's no gainsaying that we have a new administration in place, and one of its central focus is food security. What, in your opinion, gave birth to this current reality?
Well, as you have rightly said, the issue of food insecurity has a lot of dimensions. The land is shrinking. It's shrinking because there are farmlands that are being converted to estates now. Another issue that is very glaring is the climate change, whereby the expectation on the farm is not realized. Either the cessation of rain becomes early, or the setting in of the rain becomes too late. So all these are factors that are impeding on the actual production on ground. And when the production is not there, the population keep increasing. Therefore, the deficit gap become widened.
Right.
And it is a process that realizing that we have to make some amends so that we can meet up with the expectation of the growing population, and at the same time trying to cultivate what we actually need.
All right. You know, as it were, going into a new year, what should the Nigerian farmer out there expect?
Well, his expectation is always the same, at least for us to provide him with inputs. And we have been doing that over the years. And it is very clear now that initially we target farmers, but we have realized that it is not the good way. We should be targeting the farms. How many hectares do we have to cultivate, so that we know the yield of the seeds we are giving out? If the yield is 2 tons or 3 tons or 4 tons, whatever it is, we can easily multiply by the number of hectares. Then we will know our outcome. So that has been the thinking now. So farmers that have farms should be ready to cultivate that particular farm.
Can you comment on the place of the smallholder farmer in this scheme of things?
Yes, the smallholder farmer is very strategic, despite the fact that he may be a subsistence farmer, but we are happy with him because at least he will be able to take care of his family. If each and everyone will be able to grow what he can eat, I'm sure that is the food security we are looking for.
That's right.
Those that are having large-scale farms who are into export, growing maybe crops of high premium, all this is good for us. That is where we can earn the foreign exchange.
I will want to find out from you, what do you make of the place of the middleman as far as farming activities are concerned in Nigeria? Because it appears the farmer goes out there, puts in so much, and at the end of the day, the middleman circumvents his profit.
Well, it is true. The middleman is always there. They don't want to call themselves middlemen, but they will tell you they are businessmen. Businessmen want to maximize their profit at all times. Unfortunately for the smallholder farmer, by the time he harvests, there are other competing demands. Whether he like it or not, he must take them to the market to be able to get some cash to satisfy other demands. By then, the businessman is strategically waiting so that he can catch on that. Some of them hoard it, some of them add value to it, and then they get high premium on it. So we don't want to blame them because they are also doing their own business. Because we said the value chain should be treated as such. There is those in production, those in processing, and those in marketing.
Sir, I will want to find out from you, is government doing anything still towards safeguarding the farmer? Why do I ask this question? I saw a statistics just yesterday indicating that a country like Germany from cocoa makes about 40 billion or thereabout from just adding value to cocoa that he probably got, peanuts from within the West African sub-region.
Right.
Are we as a people beginning to look into some of these constraints?
Very well. That is why it is now a deliberate policy by the ministry to make sure that while we give inputs, we also give harvest and post-harvest equipment. That will enable the farmer to add value to what he has produced. At least by that, adding that value alone will increase his price by about 30%. So, which is very good for him. And at the same time, these equipments are very expensive. But the government deemed it fit to also buy and subsidize for the farmers to buy.
How do we protect the farmer from post-harvest losses? Because that is a major problem as far as farming activities is concerned.
That's right. Post-harvest losses normally comes as a result of manual operations. So we have devised a means of seeing that we should add value even at the farm gate before you take it out to the market, so that at least it will reduce the post-harvest losses. And also, there are a lot of agrochemicals that we even used to buy for tomato producers. By the time you spray that one, you are increasing the shelf life of the crop. So we try as much as possible to educate farmers through the extension agents we have, to educate farmers to make use of this. It will save them a lot of losses. So also we encourage mechanization.
Hold your thoughts there.
Yeah.
We'll talk about mechanization, but after the break. Welcome back, and glad to know you're there as the interview continues. You just delved into mechanization even
That's
before I kind of brought it out.
That's right.
When we look at mechanization, several administrations in this country have tried same in the past, but I can assure you, probably for reasons best known to you and I, it has always been a disaster. What makes you think it will work this time?
Very good. A tractor ordinarily should last you for 25 years. But in Nigeria, you find it difficult for a tractor to reach 5 years. It is obvious that our people lack the skill for maintenance. We therefore look at this as a business. Whoever that is interested can come in, do a kind of PPP arrangement with us. We get the vendor who will bring the tractors. We get the farmer who is interested in acquiring the tractor. Then we get the bank that can finance that understanding between the vendor and the bank. But we arrange a deferred payment arrangement whereby he will pay 40% as initial deposit. Then he pay the remaining 60% over a period of 3 years.
Looking at this arrangement, back in the days, I know, and they still exist. I know Ford is there, Steer is there, International is there, John Deere is there. Why can't any of these companies come to Nigeria, establish base, thereby creating employment for our people and servicing the agricultural sector?
Just last month or thereabout, a memorandum of understanding has been signed between the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security with John Deere and Tata. In fact, I received the invitation today to go and inspect where they intend to set up the company, that is the assembly plant, because they are bringing this equipment in a completely knocked down form so that they can assemble them in Nigeria, thereby creating job for our people and then creating wealth at the same time. But again, we are trying to see that place they have selected, whether it is suitable or not.
Share your thoughts with me. Are we beginning to look at the place of technology wherein our farmers will become better for same?
Very well. In fact, just like the wheat program we are on, we have developed a system, an ICT solution, whereby you can redeem your inputs through an alert system that you will see with an OTP number. Then you can go to the redemption center, you collect the inputs, and then you go and plant. Sometimes we used to say these are things that are difficult for farmers to handle, but I am highly satisfied the way it is being done, and farmers are accepting that, yes, I have seen the alert and I'm going to the position that I was directed to go and redeem my inputs. So gradually we'll get there.
I would want to find out from you, is the place of extension workers, as it used to be in those days, beginning to probably find its pride of place back? Because it is only these people that can go out, train these farmers for the better.
We are encouraging extension seriously. We even have an e-extension now, whereby you don't have to be there physically, but the information can get to the farmers, and if they are serious, they adapt it and it will work for them.
I'm aware that the Minister of Agriculture, who happens to be your minister, was in Jigawa, I believe, sometime last month or month before last, to launch the Padama irrigation scheme. Was it accepted by the
farmers were very happy that inputs are brought to their doorstep. Their land are being prepared and they are ready for the irrigation of the wheat. particularly the Bollock 100 variety that we have imported from Mexico, because we have seeds in this country, but the yield is not encouraging. So we had to now import some component that we can use to augment what we have. And the Bollock 100 has been successful. CBN has imported it before, so it is adaptable to our terrain, and it has been adjudged to have high yield and is heat tolerant.
As we prepare to round up, do you foresee a time, probably in the nearest future, where Nigeria can be wheat sustainable?
Very well. In fact, for me, I'm forecasting 5 years. In the next 5 years, we should be wheat sufficient. Maybe we can even export it to our neighboring countries.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, engineer, thank you so much for your time. There's so much to discuss, but
That's
we're
right.
out of time.
It's all
I
right.
hope we can get to continue this discussion in the nearest future.
Very well. You are
Very
most
well.
welcome.
Thank you so much
Thank
for your
you.
time.
Thank you.
As it were, I will now hand you over to Abigail Stowe for some news that you can use.
Thank you and welcome to the new segment of Agriculture in Focus. I am Abigail Stowe. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has restated the determination of the federal government in ensuring constant food supply, food security, and food affordability. He said in his New Year's message that the government would step up its plan to cultivate farmland across the country to grow maize, rice, wheat, millet, and other staple crops. The Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kyari, has called on rice farmers to double their efforts on rice cultivation in order to meet demands of paddy rice by the proposed 10 integrated rice mills that will be established across the country. The minister said this at a tour of the soon-to-be inaugurated 200 metric tons per day capacity rice mill in Suleja, Niger State. In an effort aimed at optimizing the agricultural value chain and empowering female farmers and factory processors in Kano, Jigawa, and Bauchi states, Agronor, an AG Tech company, recently distributed farm input to some Nigerian farmers in conjunction with other partner organizations. And now to the global scene. The Food and Agricultural Organization of the United Nations is pioneering a transformative cocoa project in the remote CPEC region of Papua New Guinea. This initiative is part of an EU program designed to uplift local cocoa farmers by providing them with unprecedented access to lucrative international markets. Chairman of the Association of Indonesian Ventures, Capital and Startups, Edi Danusa Putro, has said that Indonesian venture capital firms have identified startups in agriculture, farming, fishery, and related industries as potential targets for investment in 2024. This has been the news on the news segment of Agriculture in Focus. Thank you for staying with us. There's lots more coming your way, and I'm Abigail Stone.
Abigail Stowe, thank you so much for that news segment. It's about time I hand you over to the good hands of Timmy Simpson for Common Sense Agriculture.
Welcome to Common Sense Agriculture, our low-hanging insights into farming and agribusiness. My name is Timmy Simpson. Increased world population will demand more food production, less water-consuming crops, better crop production, techniques and better strategies for weed control. Looking at weeds and its harmful effects on production in farming, it is important for farmers to consider weed management approaches. These may vary from crop to crop, with focus on organic weed management, non-chemical weed control, and cover crops. Weeding practice in any crop depends on crop factors such as position in rotation and plant spacing, on field factors such as soil type and weed seed bank history, and on seasonal factors like rainfall. Crop losses can be reduced by integrated weed management with resistant crop varieties, rational use of agrochemicals, biocontrol agents, crop rotation, and better cultural practices. Complementary weed control methods include grazing, herbicide application, land fallowing, irrigation methods, mulching, and intercropping. The common sense here is to consider sustainable methods of weeding in order to boost farmers' production. Until we come your way again, be guided by these low-hanging insights into farming and agribusiness from Agriculture in Focus. My name is Timmy Simpson.
Timmy Simpson, as always, thanks for your words of wisdom. It's about time we marry what's out there in the world of the social media and agriculture. Balogun Anthony, your time starts now.
It's the new year and you're welcome to Training Field on Agriculture in Focus. Now in this segment, we will be highlighting agricultural topics trending all across the internet. My name is Balogun Antonio and thank you for joining us. Now for our first trend for today, in a big move for agriculture, the Nigerian Stud Products Research Institute wrapped up a 3-day nanotechnology bonanza in Cross River State, arming 70 farmers with the knowledge and power of nanotechnology. Now, nanotechnology is a superhero solution to post-harvest losses, and they did this in a collaboration with the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security. Now, traditional farming struggles with spoilage, pest, and poor storage, and nanotechnology swoops in, offering precision and efficiency like never before. Now, Dr. Eunice Bamishe, the Assistant Director of Research, spilled the nano tea that the workshop aims to empower farmers with nanotech knowledge, making agriculture sustainable and food secure. Now, why the hype? Post-harvest losses in Nigeria hit 1/3 of produce, and that's a jaw-dropping 3.5 trillion naira annually. Now enters nanotechnology, turning farmers into the avengers of agriculture, minimizing losses, boosting quality, and adding a sprinkle of magic to the economic growth. Now for our next trend for today, the Institute for Agricultural Research just dropped a crop bomb to celebrate its 100th anniversary, and that is 200 new crop varieties hitting the agric scene, from turbocharged cowpeas to magic maize. Now, Director Awalu Umar spilled the agri-tea, boasting about skyrocketing yields, and that's maize from 2 to 9 tons, sorghum from 1 to 2.5 tons, and cowpeas from 0.5 to 2.7 tons per hectare. But the IAR isn't just making waves in Nigeria. Its groundnut and cowpea varieties are the talk of the town in Niger Republic, Mali, and Cameroon. And our last trend for today, in Canada, the Saskatchewan farming scene just got a digital makeover, all thanks to Weeping Zeng and his brainchild, the grain grading app by Super GEO AI Tech. Now, no more endless hours for uncertain returns. This app counts grain kernels and checks quality in seconds flat. Now, Zeng, a farmer turned tech CEO, had an epiphany. Why not use AI to revolutionize grain grading? Now enters grain grading, making farming cool again. Now, Lyndon Letzer, the marketing maestro, spilled the secret sauce. No more subjective inspectors. This app gives you the facts, ensuring every farmer maximizes their profits. But it's not just about counting. Grain grading plays detective, spotting frost and heat damage in wheat, canola, peas, and lentils. And Android users, your farming fairy tale begins now. Now that's all for Training Field here on Agriculture in Focus. If you want to be part of the program, send us your comments and insights into some of the topics that will bring your way. You can follow us on our social media platforms. The handle is @patagro_media. Like I said, it's an amazing new year. 2024 promises to be amazing and interesting, and we look forward to seeing and bringing more of these interesting trends your way. My name is Balogun Anthony, and do have a great night.
Balogun Anthony, thank you so much for Trending Fields. And this is where we'll be drawing the curtains on today's episode of the program. All you need to do is join us same time, same station next week for yet another interesting episode of the program. It's been Agriculture in Focus, where advancing food security and agribusiness remains our mainstay. My name is Alpha Jackton. This program is open to sponsorship. I'm from the Pat Agro team. Once more, I want to say a great and a happy new year ahead.